Thanks for joining me today. Our practice is going to be a 35-minute Vinyasa style flow, working through some twisting and side body extension. We'll be building some heat in the body and creating a bit of strength, followed by a balancing posture to help promote focus and concentration in the mind. Have a great class. We're going to start today's class laying down on our backs. We'll bring the soles of the feet to touch, letting the knees fall out to the sides, coming into our Supta Baddha Konasana. Slightly tucking the chin down, feeling the back of the neck grow long here. And just starting to take a few nice deep breaths. Arriving on the mat and arriving into our bodies. Feeling the belly rise up with the inhale breath and softly lowering again with the exhale. And once you release the next round of breath, drawing both knees in towards the chest, giving yourself a nice big hug. You might feel nice rolling a little bit from side to side, massaging through the lower back, keeping the movements soft and slow at this stage. We'll inhale to feel the spine grow really long, tailbone draws down to the mat, and then exhale, extending our left leg long, drawing the right knee in towards the right armpit, stretching through the right hip here. Our next exhale breath, the left hand is going to guide the right knee across the body, coming into a reclined twist. So the right arm can extend from the right shoulder, and then shifting the hips slightly back towards the middle of the mat so that you can stack the hips, taking a nice twist from the belly here. Right shoulder plugs back down into the mat. And the right knee is reaching towards the earth. But it doesn't matter if it doesn't touch, just gently allowing gravity to make space through the right side body. We'll take one more breath in here, finding some length. And then exhale, settling the body down towards the mat. Inhaling, guiding the right knee back across the body and adjusting the hips to center. Both knees will come into the chest, extending the right leg out and taking a breath in here with the left knee drawn in towards the chest. This time the right hand is going to guide the left knee across the body, shifting the hips, taking whatever movements you need to find yourself in a comfortable reclining twist. And the gaze can look over the left shoulder if it's comfortable for the neck. Feeling the space in the left ribs. Inhaling here. And exhaling. And we'll inhale, bringing our left knee back across the body. And we'll bend through both knees, drawing them in towards the chest. And take the hands just behind the knees here. We're going to roll up and down the spine a few times, finding some length. And then eventually, once you're ready, rolling all the way over the knees, Coming into our tabletop position and adjusting yourself back into the middle of the mat here. We've got our hands below our shoulders, knees are below the hips, and the belly draws in towards the spine. We'll just go through a couple rounds of cat-cow together, inhaling to lower the belly, lifting the tailbone and the gaze, and then exhaling to round through the spine. Inhaling once more, feeling the vertebrae moving with the breath here, exhaling. One more round of breath, finding that beautiful space. Exhaling one more time, pressing the earth away with the hands, doming through the shoulders. We'll come back to a neutral spine with our inhale. Shift the hands forward, one hand length, and then tuck the toes, taking whatever time you need, lifting the hips, and pressing back to our downward facing dog. Our first down dog of the practice, it can be nice to take a few movements here, so maybe pedaling out through the feet a little bit. You might like to keep the knees quite bent here, just ensuring that the focus is really on extending the spine, lifting the tailbone up towards the ceiling. And then lifting all 10 fingertips, spreading the fingers, placing them back down so the hands and the palms are really spreading evenly into the mat. One breath here. In through the nose. And back out through the nose. We're going to inhale, bending the knees, looking forward to the hands, and then step both feet up to the top of the mat, extending the crown of the head forward. Hands can come to the shins or to the mat. Inhaling for our halfway lift, and then exhaling to fold all the way over the legs. We're going to hang out here for a minute, so taking ragdoll with the arms, just allowing the crown of the head to reach forward and down towards the earth. Relaxing through the neck and the shoulders. We're going to lower the right hand down towards the earth. You might be up on fingertips or pressing the palm into the earth, depending on how far away it feels today. And then we'll take the left hand to the left hip, bending generously through the right knee. Inhaling to open the spine, and exhaling to twist open towards the left hand side. Again, moving with the breath, so inhaling long spine, and then exhaling to perhaps find a little more space. If it feels nice, you might extend the left fingertips up towards the ceiling. Gaze can follow, bringing this twist all the way through to the neck. Our next exhale, gently circling the left hand back to the mat. Extending through both knees here, equalizing through the back body. And then we'll bring the left hand down below the face. Right hand comes to the right hip, and we're bending through the left knee this time. Crown of the head reaches forward, and then we twist, peeling the chest open towards the right. Fingertips might lift, and the gaze can follow. Taking one nice round of breath in here, feeling really spacious through the back body. And then lowering the right hand back down to the earth. We're going to take a nice generous bend in the knees here, both knees, and then inhale to circle both hands up, meeting palms overhead, and exhaling, hands come through heart center, Tadasana at the top of the mat. Pressing through both feet evenly, hands are energized, and we'll roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Crown of the head reaches tall. Inhaling, arms come up overhead. Gaze can lift. Exhaling, folding at the hips. Maybe keeping a generous bend in the knees here if that serves you. Uttanasana. And then inhaling for our Ardha Uttanasana, hands to the floor or to the shins. Exhaling, palms meet the earth. We're going to step back with our left foot, lowering the left knee. You can untuck the left toes if it feels better for you today. Checking the right ankle is below the right knee. Just setting up here. With our next inhale, we will lift both hands to come into our Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Feeling strong and tall here, enjoying a nice stretch through the left hip flexor. Inhale to lift the fingertips towards the ceiling. And then exhale to really commit to the lunge here. So finding a little more space in the front hip. Inhaling, keeping the left hands lifted. Right hand can come to the hips. And we're going to extend out just a little bit towards the right hand side. So finding a bit more space across the left side body. You might have a little bit more space here and feel like you can reach down towards the earth. One breath in here, breathing into the left lung. And exhaling, left hand meets the mat beside the right foot. Right hand circles up, coming into an easy twist. Both of the thighs are drawing towards the midline here. And we're going to really start to power up through the legs, tucking the back toe and lifting the back knee. Taking a breath here to stabilize. And our next inhale is going to lift us up into a crescent lunge with a twist. Right hand is reaching back, left hand forward, committing to the lunge again, and then perhaps if you'd like to challenge the balance, gaze looks back towards the right fingertips. Left heel is strongly pressing back, legs engaged. One more breath here. Twisting from the navel. And then exhaling to settle. Our next inhale will sweep the right hand down and around. Both hands lift to our crescent lunge. And then we'll exhale to lower the back heel, opening into our warrior two, facing the left hand side of the mat. And adjusting the feet as you need. Back foot is parallel to the back edge of the mat. Right toes are pointing forwards and the knee is tracking directly over the middle toe. Settle the hips down. Arms are extending from the shoulders and the gaze looks over the front middle finger. Left hand lowers to the left thigh. Right palm flips. We're going to inhale, come into our reverse warrior. And then exhaling, right elbow to right knee. Left fingertips extend past the crown of the head. Extended side angle. Inhaling here, reaching long with the fingertips. And exhaling, settling here. We'll inhale to come back to warrior two. And then exhale to circle both hands down and around. Rotating the back foot, stepping the right foot back into our high plank. We're going to lower into our chaturanga, or you have the option to lower the knees here. Coming through a vinyasa flow, inhaling up dog or baby cobra, and then exhaling, pushing it back to downward facing dog. One breath in here. And one breath back out. Coming onto the balls of the feet, bending the knees, looking forward at the hands, and we'll step forward with the opposite foot this time. Inhaling to halfway lift at the top of the mat, and then exhaling, folding over the legs. Light bend in the knees. We inhale to rise to stand, hands meet overhead. And then exhale, we're going to continue flowing, so folding at the hips,
Hands come through the midline. Inhale, rising, crown of the head reaches forward. And then exhale, palms come to the mat. Right foot steps back this time, lowering the right knee. Taking a breath to prepare, checking in with the foundation. Using our inhale to sweep the hands up overhead, low lunge. Feeling really tall here, stacking the vertebrae up. Crown of the head reaches tall, shoulders are down away from the ears. Inhale, right hand stays lifted this time, left hand comes to the hip, and we're reaching the right hand cross towards the left hand side, finding some space down the right side of the body. Again, option here is to lower the left hand towards the mat, ensuring that there's not any crunching or compression through the lower back. One more breath here. And on the exhale, placing the right hand down beside the left foot, left hand extends towards the ceiling to a nice easy twist. Twisting from the belly, and then noticing if the hips are flailing out a little bit towards the left hand side. See if you can draw everything back in towards the midline. We're going to gather the hips and gather the strength in the legs to lift the back knee, tucking the right toes, and then preparing with our inhale breath, coming up to our crescent lunge with a twist. It's a little bit of a balancing act here, so just being fun and playful with it. Left fingertips are reaching back, and the right fingertips are reaching forward, strong through the legs. Using our next inhale breath, we'll circle the left fingertips down beside the left thigh, coming all the way up into our crescent lunge. Exhaling opens us to the right hand side of the mat. And we'll set up here for our warrior two. Settling into the left knee, shoulders are relaxed, tailbone draws down towards the mat. Next, inhale, flipping the left palm, right palm comes to the thigh. Inhaling, finding space and really lifting through the left fingertips. So it's not so much about the leaning back as it is about the lifting and reaching. Our next exhale, left elbow comes to the left knee, and the right fingertips reach overhead, right bicep just above the right ear. And inhale here, and exhaling, maybe sinking a bit lower into the left knee. Let's inhale to come back to our Virabhadrasana 2, and exhale, circling the hands back. We'll step the left foot back, coming into our high plank. You have an option here to come through your flow or meet in downward facing dog. Moving with the breath. When we all find ourselves in our downward dog shape, noticing here if the heart rate has started to rise a little bit, noticing the heat that's building in the body, checking back in with the breath, taking a few moments here to reconnect and slow everything back down before we move into our next sequence. Next inhale, rising up onto the balls of the feet. We're going to exhale, lowering both heels towards the left-hand side, finding a nice bend in the knees, getting a great stretch down the top right side of the body. You might like to tent onto the right fingertips, looking underneath the armpit. And being a bit playful and explorative here, so finding what feels nice for you and how to get the best stretch for your body. We'll inhale, rise back to center. And then exhale, both heels towards the right. Gaze looking under the left armpit. Inhale to center. And then exhale, drawing both heels down towards the mat. Taking one breath in here. And one breath out. Weight comes into the left foot now, inhaling right foot up overhead, three-legged dog. And then exhaling to plant the foot behind the right wrist. We'll inhale, coming all the way up to our crescent lunge. Moving through a few rounds of dynamic crescent here. So we'll exhale, extending the fingertips back behind us, coming into an arrowhead. And then inhale, chest lifts, fingertips rise, crescent lunge. One more time. Exhaling, fingertips reaching back, chest leans forward, and the weight's coming more and more into the right foot. We inhale, standing tall, strong through the right leg. This time with our exhale, all the weight comes into the right foot as the left foot floats behind us. Virabhadrasana 3. Standing really strong through the right leg. The left hip can square down towards the mat, so the tendency is that hip wants to crawl up a little bit. Maybe using the hands to help guide the left hip down. Fingertips can extend back towards the left heel here, or extending out in front, challenging the pose a little bit further. Drawing the tummy in towards the spine. One more breath here. Steady and strong. Exhaling with control. And then we're going to inhale, coming up to stand, bringing the left knee with us, up to a 90 degrees. We're going to take a standing twist here. So, crown of the head reaches tall with the inhale. Left hand comes to the back of the left hip, and then the right hand is going to come to the outside of the left knee. Exhaling to twist the chest open towards the left hand side. You might like to challenge the pose here with me, taking a hold of the left foot with the right hand, extending the left leg long, perhaps extending the left hand out behind us. Finding a twist in this balance, maybe wobbling a little bit, that's okay. Finding a point of focus. Gaze can look out towards the left fingertips. One more breath in here. And then we'll exhale, drawing the left knee back towards the chest. Straightening the chest forward. And then just as slowly as we came into the pose, stepping the left foot back, both hands rise up overhead, crescent lunge, and then we exhale to frame the front foot, stepping the right foot back, high plank here with our inhale, and then option to come through a flow, bending at the elbows, coming through chaturanga, inhaling, upward facing dog or baby cobra, and then exhaling, rolling over the feet, pressing back to our downward facing dog. One breath here, in through the nose, and letting everything go with the exhale. And we'll move through the other side now. And if you're a bit wobbly on the first side, just shaking that off here. New side, new start. Having a bit of fun with this. This time the weight comes into the right foot. We're going to inhale the left foot up overhead, three-legged dog. Bending through the left knee, placing the foot down behind the left wrist. Energizing through the legs, inhaling, rising up to our crescent lunge. Really strong through the legs here. Exhaling, fingertips reach behind. Chest is really broad here, so really opening through the collarbones. Inhaling. Exhaling, feeling that left foot start to gear up. Right foot lifts just that little bit more each time. And with the third and final round, we're going to take all the weight into our left foot. Chest comes forward. Right foot has lifted up off the mat to our warrior three. We'll check in with the hips again, making sure they're nice and square. Back of the neck is long. And the standing leg is really strong. Extending the hands out if you tried it last time. Take one breath in and one breath out. Inhaling, we come to stand. Right knees at a 90 degrees. And then taking whichever variation you took on the other side. So the left hand is coming to the right knee, or perhaps taking a hold of the right foot. And the right hand can stay on the hip for now. Taking the balance here. Moving slowly through the shape. Finding this beautiful place of stillness, even in the most uncomfortable and challenging posture. And then if you'd like to challenge the balance even further, taking the gaze out towards the right fingertips, maybe shaking a little bit in the legs, that's okay. Inhaling here, spine is long. And we exhale, letting go of the right foot, holding the balance here, extending the foot out behind us, and drawing the fingertips tall here, crescent lunge for a breath. Drawing it in towards the chest, inhaling, and then exhaling, hands frame the front foot, step the left foot back to meet the right. We'll inhale tall here, coming through our last Vinyasa flow. Exhaling to lower down halfway, rolling over the feet for our upward dog. Exhaling, pushing the hips all the way back. Well done. We'll take one round of breath in here, inhaling through the nose. Exhaling back out through the mouth. This time with our inhale, we're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet, rolling through the spine, coming into our high plank just for a moment, and then lowering the knees down halfway into our floating tabletop. Holding here for one breath, and then allowing the knees to touch the mat. And we'll sit back on the hips, extending both legs out in front. We're going to come through our Janu Sirsasana. The left foot is going to come to the inside of the right leg. And we're sitting up tall. Hands reach up towards the ceiling. Inhale here. And exhale to fold. The right toes are drawing back towards the face. And we'll just take a few breaths here. And if the hands don't reach the foot, that's completely fine. Just allowing them to take a hold of the calf or perhaps rest down by the side of the leg. Finding a sense of ease here. And the option might be to stay here for you today, and that's completely fine. Or if you'd like to take a little bit of a twist through this shape, we're going to take the left hand across towards the outer edge of the right foot, and then bringing in the right arm inside the right leg. Even once you've done this, you feel the chest start to open towards the left, peeking the gaze underneath the left armpit. And perhaps, if it feels all right for you today, the right hand will reach all the way across the body and take a hold of the left knee. In whichever shape you're in today, allowing it to be easeful, not too much strain on the body here. Noticing how the face looks or feels, and see if you can smile and gently relax. One more breath in here, and one breath out. We'll use our inhale to unravel, hands press down beside the leg, and come up to seated. We'll take that through the other side. Finding a comfortable seat with the left leg extended and the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Chest is facing over the left leg, growing tall with our inhale and folding forward with our exhale. Once again, just taking it as far as it feels comfortable for you today. So really trying not to hunch through the shoulders and reach and strain yourself. But even if you take the hands down and feel the collarbones broaden here. We'll stay here for a round of breath. Maybe shutting down the eyes. Feeling the body start to cool. Feeling the breath start to settle. If you went through the twist on the other side, the left arm is going to come to the inside of the left leg. And the right arm can simply reach up and over. It doesn't matter if the toes are touching or not. Simply finding that beautiful stretch down the right side body here. Finding length. And then if it felt nice on the other side, the left arm can reach across the body, taking a hold of the right knee. We'll stay here for 2 breaths. Closing down the eyes. And just noticing in the body where you feel this stretch. Sending the breath to that space. And then after your last exhalation, we'll use our inhale to unfurl the body. Chest points forward. We'll come up to seated, extending both legs out in front. We'll take Paschimottanasana, forward fold. I like to move the fleshy bits out from under the seat. Both toes are drawing back towards the face, and we're a little bit active through the legs here, so it's really easy to just sort of completely let everything go. But staying a bit lifted through the muscles and staying a little bit active is really going to help with this stretch. Inhaling tall, spine is long. Exhaling, reaching forward. And the same concept applies here, so if you really are straining to reach the feet, just allowing the hands to come down, finding a tiny bit more of a gentle place with the stretch. You might take a bend in the knees here if you're tighter through the lower back and through the hamstrings. And every expression of that shape is exactly where you need to be right now. So listening to the body. We'll take 3 rounds of breath here. Closing down the eyes. Tuning into the rhythm of the breath, feeling the inhalation bring energy and life into the body. And then exhaling, feeling a sense of calm and settle. And the longer you stay in any shape, the more the body starts to adjust and find space. So you might feel like you can even bring the chest a little bit further forward. Starting to allow that deep sense of satisfaction that comes at the end of a practice. We're going to bring the chest up to rise with an inhale, and then slowly lowering the body all the way back down. So maybe bending through the knees, gently coming to lay down on our backs. Extending the legs out long. Palms face up towards the sky, and the toes roll out towards the sides of the mat. Coming into our Shavasana, our final resting place for today's practice. Sitting in that beautiful afterglow of our asana practice, creating that energy and that movement in the body. And now finding stillness for a few moments here, taking the rest that we deserve. Feeling everything start to slow down.